Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our climate dispatch. It's been a while, but we are grateful to be back here with you. We're with our friend Jared Duval, the Executive Director of the Energy Action Network, my friend and colleague Lauren Hierl, Executive Director of Vermont Conservation Voters. And we hope you've had a great summer and we've gotten a little respite or been deeply involved as we have been when it comes to climate work. There's so much going on and there is even more about to be going on. And we wanted to give you a brief update on what is happening with the Vermont Climate Council, the work underway, as you know, to craft an initial climate action plan as required by the Global Warming Solutions Act that sets out a plan and an operationalized process to continue to develop a pathway and pathways for setting the state on target to meet its greenhouse gas emission requirements. The plan needs to set out high-level pathways, strategies, and actions that will get to our first initial target of pollution reduction, significant pollution reduction by 2025, and an identification of other strategies and actions that will help ensure our communities, our rural communities are more resilient and they're adapting to a warming world, and that we're centering, equity in more lower income, often overburdened, marginalized, higher impacted communities like our BIPOC Vermonters in these important solutions and conversations. So there is a ton going on. The council is beginning to meet every 2 weeks. I'm a member of that council. Jared is a member of the council, and we are hard at work in the subcommittee forums to put together those draft recommended pathway strategies and actions. And you're going to hear more about it from Lauren. There will be, and I hope it is on your radar, but Lauren's going to put it there in particular, an opportunity for your input on those strategies and what the sort of suite of solutions should be in this initial plan, again, due by December 1st. So Jared, in his role, especially on science and data, has been deeply involved in the council's work, also in his role on the steering committee. So Jared, from your perspective, give us an update on what is underway at the council and how that relates to your exciting work and your big event yesterday.
Thanks, Joey. Yeah, I think this is such an exciting time. We're just for context, let me say my role on the council, I was appointed to represent an organization with expertise in energy and data analysis. So the primary role that I've been playing is co-chairing the science and data subcommittee, also serving on the cross-sector mitigation subcommittee, where we're really focusing on those pollution reduction, climate pollution reduction pathways, strategies, and actions. And also, in case that wasn't enough, serving on the steering committee for the council as well. We're starting to get back a lot of great analysis from consultants that have been hired by the council to look at what are the options before us and how do they add up and what are the benefits to Vermont and Vermonters if we do that right and equitably. In particular, EAN has developed and published earlier this year a set of emissions reduction pathways for how we can meet the 2025, 20, and 2030 emissions reduction requirements. And what we found very clearly is that we have the technology, the best practices to meet those goals right now. They're available, they're ready. In many cases, they can save folks money and be very cost effective. We actually recently heard on the cross-sector mitigation subcommittee that the modeling that the council hired found the exact same thing. And so if folks are interested in that, I'd welcome to go to the eanvt.org website to dig into some of those pathways. So it's really exciting, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity to get feedback and input from Vermonters across the state. We have these really important public events happening next week all across Vermont. We've got one in Elmore, one in East Dorset, one in Island Pond. I think the full list Lauren is going to share either in this video or afterwards. And so really looking forward to hearing the ideas and input that Vermonters have on what's been done to date and what additionally we should be focusing on.
Jared, will you give people an update? Yesterday, you had your Energy Action Network annual summit, and there were a bunch of good ideas that you solicited from, widely from Vermonters. Lots of, some new and some, tried and true different strategies. Can you highlight some of the big ideas that were put on the table and what you think how that might connect to the Climate Council's work?
Thanks, Joey. Yeah, and just for folks, I know a lot of folks who are hearing this know about EAN and our model, but just as a reminder, we're the nonprofit EAN, we're a neutral convener, and we have utilities and nonprofits and community action agencies, basically any organization or entity in Vermont that cares about and wants to be part of meeting our emissions and energy goals in a way that leads to a more just, thriving, and sustainable future for Vermonters. We want them at the table. And yesterday we had 170 of those folks at the table, either in person or online. And what we do is we put a call out. We recognize that there is just phenomenal amounts of wisdom and expertise and goodwill that exists across Vermont. And so we invite people to come forward with ideas. We say, give us your pitch for how we can rapidly, cost effectively, and equitably reduce greenhouse gas emissions. I think we received 17 pitches at the beginning. 7 of those were selected to get the stage, get that platform of sharing with the whole network and really all of Vermont. We're going to post those videos next week so everybody can see them. But some of the ideas are really, developing and working, investing in our workforce. I mean, the scale of transition that we have ahead of us is the opportunity for a lot of really good, well-paying, family-supporting jobs, hopefully union jobs in the clean energy economy, whether that's weatherization or installing batteries or electric vehicle chargers or maintenance on that good, clean equipment. We also heard a pitch on the benefits of the potential benefits of Vermont's participation in the Transportation and Climate Initiative program, ideas about how can there be a process to involve Vermonters who face some of the highest energy burdens with regard to their transportation options, and make sure that the potential investments from that would be equitably designed and shared, and many others. So I think that that's just one example of, again, all the goodwill and input that exists across Vermont, and that's just one input to this overall process as we work to pull together the best, highest impact ideas to advance pollution reduction and equity in the Climate Action Plan.
That's so great. And as a participant yesterday, it was really inspiring and exciting to be together with so many people. And, we haven't had enough opportunities for connection in the last year. So thank you to you and the EAN team for hosting that. And, as you said, both the leadership from lawmakers, everyone from the governor to a whole host of great state lawmakers, and then just so many people from all sectors who came with great ideas and enthusiasm. It was really inspiring. So, we always like to end these climate dispatches with a call to action. And this week it is crystal clear what we want you to do. We are at the moment, as Joey and Jared both mentioned, where we are at a public comment period for the Climate Action Plan, where there's a series of events, and they're both in-person and virtual options. So they begin as soon as next Tuesday, September 21st. So we'll put the details of specifically when and where these are, but just know that they're, in different parts of the state, and then virtual, and there's a virtual event focused on BIPOC communities as well. So participate in whichever of those work for you, but please, 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 we all worked so hard to get the Global Warming Solutions Act enacted, and it was the activism of so many of you that helped make that happen. And now we're at the point of, pulling a plan together that will, accomplish everything that we are going for. And, big picture, just echoing, we're calling for a plan that will hit the climate pollution reduction targets that were established in that law, that is going to do so equitably, and that actually funds the initiatives at the scope and scale that we need to make that transition happen quickly and again in an equitable way. So we'll be putting up more information on the VCV and VNRC websites, which will put a link to the landing page and continue to put ideas for the kinds of policies our organizations are going to be prioritizing. A couple you heard about today, so stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for showing up and making your voice heard and being part of this really critical climate process. And we will keep in touch on that and much more. And as we're back into the fall and back in action. So thank you all. And I hope you enjoy the upcoming weekend. And we hope to see you out at these events next week. Take care.
See you there.
Bye.